This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During this hour of the program, we're going to spend some time at the last part of the show taking a look at love, finding love in all the right places. We have a couple we'll be talking to about how they got together later in life, in their 60s. And we're very excited to talk about that. In the first part of our show, we're going to go to Connecticut. We're going to talk with a representative, a doctor, Cornelius Ferreira from Nuvance Health. Dr. Ferreira is a board-certified family physician. He's also the system chair for primary care at Nuvance Health. And I'm going to call you Cornelius if that's all right. I'm older.
Yep, no, that's perfect.
Okay, good. Welcome to our show, Cornelius. And you are my first Cornelius. The only other Cornelius I know is a character in Hello, Dolly. I don't know why I know that, but I do. I told you this is going to be fun. We're going to talk about fact or fiction. Do multivitamins really help fight colds, viruses, and COVID-19? I'm going to start by asking about the nutrition training you had when you were in medical school. And when did you graduate medical school?
Yeah, so I graduated medical school in 1998, so that was quite some time ago. And the unfortunate thing was that I don't think nutrition received quite the airtime that it needed back when I was in medical school. We were really focused much more on disease and disease management, and now having been out in practice for 20 plus years, it's really become evident how fundamental good nutrition is to health across all stages of life.
And part of that is the fact that our food system, our food supply, doesn't have the nutrients in it that we need. For example, vitamin D. And I'm not a doctor. I just talk, okay? So this is what I've gleaned from doing all the interviews I have over the years. One, vitamin D is at an epidemic low level, and that can cause a multitude of problems. So everybody should, in my opinion, be supplementing with vitamin D. In fact, our chief COVID doctor has said vitamin D is something that everybody should be taking. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so vitamin D is a very interesting vitamin. It's one of, when we look at vitamins, there's two categories. There's what we call water-soluble vitamins, which are ones that come into the body, they dissolve in water just like a pill would, and then you excrete those through urination. Vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K are what we call fat-soluble vitamins. So those vitamins are a little bit differently metabolized within the system and actually get stored within our fatty tissues. So they don't eliminate out of the body as easily as some of the water-soluble vitamins do. So I tell patients what you have to think about is you really should speak to your primary care physician and get a vitamin D level to determine if you actually have a deficiency in vitamin D. And if you have a deficiency, there's very clear-cut guidelines on the supplementation that will be required for those patients. I caution people, right, because with the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D, you have to be very careful because they can build up in your system and become toxic, right? So there's something we call hypervitaminosis. And with hypervitaminosis, especially vitamin D, people will see sometimes an increase in their calcium levels, and they can actually develop very painful kidney stones. So it's very important for listeners to definitely connect with their primary care physicians, determine if they have a deficiency, and then take supplementation based on those guidelines.
And I have to point out that many insurance companies, unless a doctor asks for that test, they'll charge the patient, which I think is a crime. We know that a lot of people, they put sunscreen on, which blocks the production of vitamin D. And correct me if I get anything inaccurate, okay, doctor? You went to, while you were in medical school, I'm not exactly sure what I was doing, but but it wasn't studying about this stuff. Do you believe in supplementation in general? Should people be taking vitamins?
There's a lot of controversy because I think a lot of the studies that have been done around vitamins have had some inconclusive evidence. We know there's a couple of areas where vitamins definitely make a difference, right? So one area centers around macular degeneration, where we know that a combination of things like beta-carotene, vitamin A, can actually have some benefits in delaying the progression of diseases such as macular degeneration. For many other health outcomes, we have not really seen that vitamins make that much of a difference. And one of the interesting things is if you look at the National Institute of Health and others, when they publish some of this data, it's very interesting that a lot of people that are already predisposed to healthier lifestyles are ones who use vitamins. So it's sometimes very difficult to make an association between the cause and the effect. So is it the vitamin that's making the difference, or is it the fact that these are just people who exercise regularly and already follow a very well-balanced diet? If you look at the statements from the Food and Drug Administration, most of them would argue that if patients follow a very well-balanced diet, rich in fruits and vegetables, they should be able to get these micronutrients and minerals in adequate supplies from that diet. And if people are unable to follow those specific diets, right, where they don't get that nutrition, then there may be some benefit in taking vitamins.
And of course, the FDA never makes mistakes. I'm
True,
making that as a statement. I mean, that's my problem with the FDA. They seem to have a bias toward supplementation of almost any kind. I mean, there are rules and regulations that many people, especially doctors, do not know that the FDA has in line rules that must be followed by supplement and vitamin manufacturers.
When you look at the information that's out there, right, so if you look at the National Institute of Health, right, there are very, very loose regulations around what vitamin manufacturers have to publicize and what they have to put within their product labels. So one of the interesting things is if you look at all the supplements, if you go to a health or a nutrition store, you'll see that there's many different variants of vitamin complexes out there. And if you look at the bottles, you'll see that the amount in each one of those supplements tend to differ. And a part of that is because with the regulations, the FDA, they require that there's information that's published on what's in the multivitamin or supplement that you're taking, but there's not really good standards on what the quantities that are in there, right? So you'll see a lot of times it's the adult daily recommended dosage, but that still is a little bit of loose science, and I think there's more research that needs to be done to look at the exact amounts of vitamins that get put into those supplements.
And again, the RDA is not really up to date on vitamins, on how much people need, and I think it's more individual. At least that's my opinion on it. One of the things that popped out to me, Cornelius, about you is that you're into prevention. Many doctors today don't care about prevention. They only care about curing, cutting, attacking a disease in one way. When we come back, let's take a look at COVID. We'll talk about vaccines, and we'll talk about vitamins. Our guest is Cornelius Ferreira, and he is with Nuvance Health in Connecticut. I guess parts of New York as well, Doctor?
Yep. So we're spread out over Western Connecticut and Eastern New York.
Gotcha. And we will return in just a couple of moments. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Darrell Wayne. Hey, join us at latenighthealth.com. Latenighthealth.com. Lots of stuff going on over there. We love to hear from you as well. We will return in just a few moments as Late Night Health moves on. Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment. If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
There's a lot of talk all over the internet about the remarkable benefits of Carbon-60, and baby boomers are especially excited about it. Greska's Carbon-60 is the premium Carbon-60, developed by an aerospace and NASA scientist. 95% of Greska's customers report positive results from this Nobel Prize-winning technology in just 4 days. Imagine more energy, better health, and more vitality. It's very bioavailable to quickly mend toxin-crippled cells. This is a super powerful antioxidant. Bob Greska is so confident that you'll love his Carbon-60, he wants to send you a bottle at 50% off the regular price to see how life-changing this will be for you. Call 720-600-6040. That's 720-600-6040. Visit c-60.com to learn more. Call 720-600-6040 now, or visit c-60.com.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.
Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We're talking with Cornelius Ferreira. He is a board-certified family physician, and he's assistant chair for primary care at Nuvance Health in Connecticut and parts of New York. And we're talking about, do multivitamins really help fight colds, viruses, and COVID-19. Cornelius, did you take vitamins this morning when you got up?
I did not, but I did have a good fruit smoothie.
Oh, okay. Did you ask,
Yep.
When you had your smoothie, did you have any supplements added to that?
Yeah, so I usually do some protein and then just, strawberries and banana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. Ooh, that'd be good right now. Do you recommend vitamins to your own family or not?
Yeah, so, so certainly, as I mentioned before, right, so for my father with macular degeneration, that's one of the areas where, he sees ophthalmologists recommended an eye supplement containing those vitamins. So absolutely. There are some non-vitamins that we use often the time in medicine as well, right? So one of the products that's out there that a lot of men know about is something called saw palmetto, right? So that is a supplement that we sometimes will recommend for men with what we call benign prostate hypertrophy, where the prostate
Right.
becomes enlarged over time, and that supplement can actually help to shrink the prostate down to help benefit those individuals. With COVID, right, one of the things that have come up that you mentioned before was, should we use vitamin D to help prevent infection or help to protect people? And there is some good evidence out there based on some studies that have been published that, using vitamin D as a supplement, mostly through the natural methods, right? So getting enough sunlight on your skin, which is about 10 minutes a week, could help to prevent people from getting COVID infection as well.
But if you put, we're scared of skin cancer, and which is up. And I mean, right now, the sun is just peeking out here in Southern California where Daryl and I are. And we're expecting a big rainstorm in the next couple of days, and we desperately need the water, but we can't go out in the sun. And if we're out in the sun and we put, some kind of sunblock on, we prevent the development of vitamin D, as I understand it.
Yeah, so especially, in some of these northern climates like Connecticut, where sometimes in the winter we don't get much sunlight, I tell patients if you want to do a vitamin D supplement, right, based on your physician's recommendations, we typically recommend between 600 and 800 international units on a daily basis to help do that supplementation.
And now let's get to the heart of the matter. We're still in the heart of this pandemic of COVID-19. I believe in the vaccines. I'm not a big fan of some of the junk that has in the past been put into the flu vaccine, the measles vaccine, and all the other vaccines. But with COVID-19, I wanted to get that shot so bad I could taste it, right? And I've had my booster. I think, have you had your booster, Daryl?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good. And doctor, I'm assuming you've had your 2 shots plus a booster as well.
Yes, absolutely. I tell you. So, prevention is better than cure. And I tell people for me and for my patients, I highly recommend vaccinations because, we know that there's long-term complications associated with COVID. We've all heard about the long haulers, people with prolonged periods of losing smell and taste. We know about the brain fog, fatigue, body aches, all of the different things that these poor patients are struggling with. And though the vaccines are not 100% protective, they certainly mitigate the risk for significant disease, illness, and death. And what I've underscored to patients, right, the other thing is we still don't know, right, because this is a relatively new virus. We still don't know what the long-term impact of this virus will be once you've had the infection, right? So in 5 years or 10 years from now, what are we going to learn about the long-term, what we call sequela or consequences of having had COVID infection? So for me, as a primary care physician, I'm really focused on making sure we prevent people from getting sick to start with. So I encourage everybody who's eligible to get their series completed and then get those boosters as well.
And because you practice preventive medicine, as I understand it, what about protecting ourselves with antioxidants and others that some healthcare professionals are saying we need to protect us from COVID-19?
Yeah, so that goes back to our lifestyle, right? So it's a combination of two critical components. The first one is making sure that we get enough servings of fresh fruits and vegetables to help support those antioxidants, right? We know that fruits and vegetables are loaded with antioxidants in themselves. One of my favorites that I talk to patients about is pomegranate juice, because pomegranates are rich in antioxidants as well. And then the second piece is to help boost your immune system is I call it the magic pill of exercise. So 30 minutes, 5 days a week, or a total of 150 minutes of aerobic activity a week will go a long way to boost your immune system and help those antioxidants that you get through your healthy diet to boost your immunity and keep you healthier in the long run. Not only from infections such as COVID or influenza, but also, diseases such as cardiovascular disease, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, all of the things that we see today in the news.
Yeah, exercise is really important, and I need to up my exercise. When I talked to my doc a week ago, she insisted that happened. What about vitamin C and other antioxidants? Linus Pauling, who discovered vitamin C, winning awards, and I think he won the Pulitzer. There've just been so many studies that a lot of allopathic doctors poo-poo. Can you respond to that?
Yes, so vitamin C is a very interesting vitamin, right? So I always think of pirates and scurvy, right? When the sailors cross the oceans. So we know how important vitamin C is to your skin and then your mucous membranes, which are the linings of your mouth and many of your orifices. So vitamin C is very important, and there is some data that shows that because it plays a role in what we call collagen synthesis and keeping those mucous membranes healthier, that people taking vitamin C, especially in the winter months, there may be some benefits in that preventing viruses from penetrating those mucous membranes. So the lining of the nose and the mouth, right, to prevent us from getting some of the upper respiratory tract infections that we get. So certainly there is some science and some data out there that supports vitamin C as helping to regenerate and improve the strength of those mucous membranes, which forms one of the first barriers against infection.
And so would you recommend that people, just as a preventive, take some kind of antioxidants or multivitamin?
Yeah, so again, it goes back to their diet, right? So if they really are not somebody who eats fruits and vegetables and they're only focused on meat and potatoes, then they would probably benefit from a daily supplement. If you're eating adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables, including your oranges, your nectarines, those are loaded with vitamin C. Good old orange juice that we can get in the grocery store. Lots of those are built into those. So I tell people if you can get it naturally, it's probably even better for you than the processed products that we buy in the multivitamins.
Oh, I love that. Very good. So no GMOs and organic if you can, right?
Absolutely.
Good deal. I haven't had a good tasting nectarine in a long time. Dr. Cornelius Ferreira has been our guest. He's with Nuvance Health, and I have a feeling he'll be back with us sometime in the next year. Happy holidays, Doctor, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, and the same to you and your listeners. Happy holidays.
I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Late Night Health continues.